for some. We're being recorded. Got it. Okay, wait, they missed my thank you. Thank you to the outgoing board members. And, you know, I was thinking the other day, that's a combined leadership of about 50 years of NPO. So can I get a round of applause for this group? Thank you so very much. Okay, so moving on, I am sad to say that we lost two sister fellows. What happened to, did I miss something? Oh, that was me. I'm sorry, I missed an intro. May I introduce the board, the new board of directors? It's my first year. So Joyce Santiago is our vice chair, and she is class of 2018. Tammy Miller is our secretary, class of 2011. Jason Wilson recently joined the board as our treasurer. Very happy to have him, 2014. Deb Gogniak, there she is 2018. David Gonzalez is with the York County Economic Alliance. Natalie Gunderson is with the water company. And Natalie, are you on this morning? Is our future 2060 potential federal fellow with you? I can't see. Congratulations on your newborn. Tom O'Connor with Leg Up Farm is class of 2019. Jean Truthheart is class of 2015. Our wonderful Bob Pulo is our director emeritus, and our immediate past chair is Jenny Engler. Now, on to our unfortunate announcement is that our sister fellows, Stephanie Seaton passed away in August, and we certainly miss her. She was a very active board member and obviously very active in our community, and she will be greatly missed. We also lost very recently Debbie Knoll. Debbie had been a fellow of 2006, and she just passed away in early November. So if we could just take a moment to remember them. We appreciate all they did for our community and ask that they rest in peace. Next, on to our financial committee. This is our finance committee. I won't read all of the members, but you see those individuals. They're keeping track of all the finances and checking Megan's math. We do have an accounting firm that oversees and takes care of the intricate stuff. That's CTY, headed by Patrick Ball, and he is part of that committee also. Next, on to our York Federal Fellow committees. There are a few of them. Joyce is our overarching chair of those committees and heads up the selection committee. We welcomed a few new members this year to the selection committee. This is a combination of community leaders who are not fellows and fellows. And you can see we have a number of different fellows from a number of different classes. And they made the selections for this year, and we're going to hear from Joyce a little bit later about those exciting announcements, but they're doing some really great work. Tammy Miller is heading up the curriculum committee and bringing us the education pieces along with the education piece for the Federal Fellows of 2023. Wow, it's hard to imagine 2023 already. And have also brought things like the IDP, and we'll be taking advantage of that training next year if you're not signed up, I guess you can see Megan if there's any spots left, Megan. And then the York Federal Fellow Ambassadors, that's headed up by Tom O'Connor. Tom and his group are helping individuals from the community, nonprofit leaders who are interested in applying for a fellowship and learning more about that, and helping them guide through the process. And I'd be remiss if I did not thank Susan Barry, who I did see on the call earlier, Jean Truthheart, and Chris Pollock for their help as peer readers. It's a new piece that we've added in that applicants can take advantage of the peer reader, and they'll give them some positive, constructive feedback on their application. Okay, then we're on to the governance committee. Is that the next slide? Yes. So Jean, thank you for taking on that committee. We really appreciate that. We are getting things in order, making sure bylaws are in line with what we hope to accomplish and display. And they're looking at potential new members. So if you have a member, if you're a fellow and you have a member that you'd like to recommend, for York Federal Fellows, we'd accept that too. If there's anyone who, if any of these committees speak to you, we could use some help on some of the committees. We're still have some open spots, so please keep that in mind. We also have
Bobby, and I'll hop in real quick because I realized that Brittany Walker is also on our board, and somehow her name didn't make it on the new board slide. So Brittany Walker, co-chair, shadow chair of the governance committee, is a new board member this year also.
I'm sorry, Brittany. Go all the way back to the beginning. Let's start again.
No need. Hello, everybody.
Good morning, Brittany. Okay, so we're on to the Give Local York Advisory Committee. You can see Tony Campisi is the co-chair along with Eric Menzer. And then we have some other members there, and they're helping us with obviously the Give Local York and the community, keeping in touch with the community. Okay. I think that might be it for me, but Give Local York is an introduction to our fabulous Kate. Kate,
speaking of Give Local York, great segue there. Hello, everybody. Good morning.
Good morning.
So let's do a little bit of a recap for 2020, which I still can't wrap my head around the fact that we're in November and that it is already time for us to switch our website over for next year. So just a reminder, this past year, we had 292 nonprofits participating in Give Local York. We raised $4.17 million in 24 hours. Yeah, I was gonna yell, but it's a little too early for me to yell. And we had just under 11,000 donors joining us on that day. So it was a big day for us here in York County. Megan just dropped our annual report. We have a brand new annual report. So she'll also be sending that out in some emails, I believe, after this meeting today. But in this annual report, we break down some other data, which is always fun for us to look at. Each organization on average raised about $14,000. On average had about 36 donors. And an average 11 new donors. And new donors for us is that really fun piece that we always like to look at. We've always, been really big on helping our nonprofits create a new donor base and help them learn how to retain and build those donor relationships. So we're really excited about those numbers as we look at the past year and plan for the year to come. So speaking of the year to come, as you guys are here with us today, you can have a little sneak peek of some of the announcements that we'll be giving on Monday, as registration will be opening for 2023 Give Local York. We've got some big changes coming down the pipeline. So what's new for 2023? New hours. You don't have to be awake from midnight to midnight anymore. I'm so excited about that. I just had to pause for just a moment. I mean, I'm still going to be awake for days, but Give Local York will now be running from 9 p.m. to 9 p.m. So it's a little different, but we're going to be going from 9 p.m. on Thursday, May 4th to 9 p.m. on Friday, May 5th. The giving window will remain open till midnight on May 5th. But we will announce the big number at 9 o'clock on that Friday. We think that this is really just going to make things more accessible for our donors, for our sponsors, for our nonprofits. We can have kickoff with the excitement of Thursday, celebrate the accomplishments of Give Local rather than kind of the grind of going to sleep and kind of waking up with the news of the big number the next day. So we're really excited about this. We also had a lot of nonprofits that were kind of getting that excitement and kicking things off on Thursday too. So we can kind of build onto that and grow with the excitement of, and then kind of ending things with that first Friday festivities in downtown York. Also, if you did see the announcement from the York Revolution yesterday or the day before, it is actually going to be the home opening day of the season will be that Friday the 5th. So that's going to be fun for us as well. So stay tuned for plans as we plan to once more take over York County and make it almost impossible for you to be able to get away from us on Give Local. Also new this year, when you visit givelocalyork.org, the first visible leaderboard you will see will be that donor leaderboard instead of the amount raised. For us, this is just another way to kind of focus on the donor numbers, which has always been really true and at our hearts. You'll be able to very easily click over to amount raised, but that donor leaderboard will be that unique donors to each organization. We will also have leaderboards categorized by organization size. So when you as a nonprofit are looking at how you're doing, you're able to compare yourself to people who are also of your size. So if you're an extra small org, you're not comparing yourself to the biggest orgs in York County. Also in super big news, the stretch pool will now be distributed based on the number of unique donors to each organization rather than the dollars raised. So if your organization's unique donor count is 1% of all dollars raised across everybody participating in Give Local York, then you will receive 1% of that stretch pool. We believe that this new approach will continue to encourage organizations to invite and welcome new donors in the community of generosity that we have built here through Give Local in York County. So that's the big exciting stuff we have going on for 2023. And like I said, we will be opening registration on Monday. An email will be going out and I think towards the end of this meeting, I set it scheduled that will just remind you guys of all the little things that are necessary for registration. Don't worry, you don't have to do it on Monday. It will stay open through March, so you have a little bit of time. I know the end of the year can be a little bit crazy for all of us. So on to the next. I'm going to pass things over to Joyce. She does have a little sketchy Wi-Fi, so just hold with us if we have a little trouble. So next up, we've got Joyce.
All right, good morning, and I do apologize if my internet acts funny. So I'd like to provide an update on the York Federal Fellows Class of 2022. As you can see here, they are Jennifer Brillhart, Sean Kenny, Katie Mahoney, and Ruth Robbins. So Ruth Robbins is participating in an executive leadership program through Cornell and walked 440 miles along the Camino de Santiago from Portugal to Spain in May. Jen Brillhart has been visiting food banks throughout the country to learn best practices in the field of charitable food. Later this month, she will be attending a wellness retreat focused on restoring balance. Lots of yoga, mediation, hiking, and vegetarian meals. Katie Mahoney visited Main Street communities with similar destination marketing attributes as downtown York, Asheville, North Carolina, Dahlonega, Georgia, and Harrisonville, Virginia. She then channeled this real-world experience into practical use through the completion of Yale School of Executive Management certification program in digital marketing strategy, and balanced all of that with some yoga and mindfulness training. After a family emergency, Sean changed his travel plans to Ireland with his father. Instead, he just returned with his longtime friend, Kevin Schreiber. Sean plans to attend the Harvard Business School's Driving Nonprofit Performance and Innovation class in the spring. Okay, just as a heads up, on January 9th, 2023, we're going to have the graduation for the class of 2022 and the induction for the York Federal Fellows class of 2023. It will be held 5:30 to 7:30 at the Grotto, and stay tuned for the invite. We'll get that to you shortly. Now to talk about the York Federal Fellows class of 2023. So I'll let you know what the process was as far as the new class coming in. In the summer, we had a York Fellows social in which alumni members were able to speak to prospective applicants, offering words of wisdom and letting them know what the process would be to become a York Fellow as far as the application goes. And then applicants were able to take advantage of the peer readers we had set up to ensure the required components of the application were met. And then after the application deadline, the selection committee was able to read each application received and give a score based on a rubric that was made available to all applicants prior to the submission of their application packet. Because of your commitment to the York Fellows program, with donations received during Give Local York 2022, we were able to add a 5th seat for York Fellows. And so just to give you a heads up, we're going to be asking that same thing in Give Local York 2023 for all of us to support to having that additional seat for the York Fellows class. Now, if I had a drum roll, I could perform, or if I had a drum, I could perform a real drum roll, but I can't drum anyway. But I'm pleased to announce the 5 members of the York Fellow class of 2023. The 5 individuals are Anu Banks, the movement; Alice Ann Frost, the program It's About Change; Jennifer Hitz, Leg Up Farm; Anika Jackson, Family First Health; and Ruby Martin, YWCA York. We welcome all of you into the cohort and look forward to your continued leadership in the community. Congrats.
Okay, I guess that means it's my turn. Congratulations and welcome to all of our new fellows. We're very excited. So the curriculum committee of White Rose Leadership Institute has been exploring some shared learning opportunities that we could bring to the fellows group and to the nonprofit community at large, really based on feedback from the York Federal Fellows who told us about topics that they were interested in learning about. And of course, DEIB, diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging, has obviously been at the top of a lot of professionals and organizations' lists. So we wanted to take a very thoughtful and informed approach to our DEIB programming. And so with a grant from the York County Community Foundation, we launched a pilot program this year to introduce a tool that's called the Intercultural Development Inventory, or IDI for short, to our York Federal Fellows community. So the IDI is an online assessment, and it accurately measures your cultural competence, or really how one engages across cultural differences. This is like a widely tested, cross-validated test assessment that's used extensively with government and nonprofit organizations, corporations, and universities across the world. And what the IDI measures is where an individual falls on what they call the intercultural development continuum. So Kate, if you can bring up the little arrow slide there, show off our continuum here. This shows how they bridge from a monocultural mindset to the intercultural mindset and the different orientations along the way of that continuum. And then it also pulls an aggregate group report that can show a group's general intercultural competence. So this summer, 36 York Federal Fellows participated in taking this IDI assessment. And our group orientation put us in minimization, which is smack dab in the middle there. Minimization generally de-emphasizes differences, and it tends to focus on commonalities. Kate, if you show the next one, that will show a little bit more about minimization and some characteristics of that orientation per the IDI. So this is a group that really tries to start from commonalities, from seeing that sort of essential humanity, But what we learned from this is that sometimes these very important, deeper differences can be masked when it would be very valuable to recognize and appreciate those. So the IDI's prescription for our group is to develop a deeper understanding of our own culture. So their prescription to the York Federal Fellows, to our nonprofit leaders, is to grow our own cultural self-awareness, and then to increase our understanding of the cultural frameworks of other cultures to help us fully attend to and make sense of those cultural differences. So to that end, we have 12 federal fellows who have been participating in work groups to complete their own individualized intercultural development plans that were also provided to us by the IDI. So at this point, we are 8 weeks into a 12-week session of working on our IDPs, our development plans. So that is exciting. And then the curriculum committee is also using that developmental opportunity to as guidance to engage a group that is called the Inheritance Project, who's going to be joining us and leading us in an intensive 3-month learning project that is going to help us really explore our own cultures and other cultures in a facilitated format. So we have 25 leaders, including Fellows alumni, the new class of York Federal Fellows, and WRLI Board and staff, who will participate in this program starting in January. I also am now a licensed IDI qualified administrator. Kate, if you want to pull up the next one. So if offering this tool, the IDI, to your company or your organization or a team that you're a part of is of interest to you, please feel free to reach out to me because we can discuss how I and White Rose Leadership Institute can help you measure your intercultural competence within your group and what the next steps might be there. So offering the IDI as a fee for service is just one way that we are looking to increase our revenue streams and address our sustainability. And another way that I'm happy to introduce today is the launch of our corporate partnership program. So more info will be forthcoming to you. But our corporate partnership program is going to really allow York County businesses to connect with our nonprofit community and to put their brand and their message before the audience of 300 plus organizations that we have working in the social impact sector here in York County. We have a lovely brochure we've created. Kate has put it in the chat, and it will also be going out today to the wider community. In addition to that corporate partnership, we're also offering opportunities for businesses to sponsor White Rose Leadership Institute events like this annual meeting and the other networking and learning opportunities that we offer throughout the year. And you'll also notice something on this list here that says Happy Hour Series. I think I have it circled in the next slide, Kate, if you just pop on over there. Yeah, point that out there. So starting in 2023, we're going to start hosting what we're calling our nonprofit support group. And that is going to be a bi-monthly series of happy hours for those working in nonprofits that will allow for networking and learning and commiserating in a casual atmosphere. So stay tuned for more info on those and your invite to join our support group. And then, of course, hopefully you are all aware that we are not throwing a gala today. This is our non-gala celebration day. Since 2019, we have been running this campaign as a way to really advocate for the nonprofit community, to try to educate the public about the time and effort and investment that the nonprofit community puts into fundraising and events. It's also a way for us to have fun with the trials and tribulations of fundraising and events and acknowledge, that we're aware of donor and attendee fatigue, but it is also a fundraiser for us. So this year, we also realized that we had essentially been running 4 different fundraising campaigns in the same quarter, which we realized was not really an efficient use of mine and Kate's, our 2-person staff's time and talent. So we decided to smush all of those campaigns together and give it one ridiculous name. So it is now the White Rose Extra No-Show Annual Birthday Non-Gala. So it's the giving spree, it's the non-gala, it's Bob's birthday, it's Extra Give, which is today, it's the annual meeting, and it is all in one easy to support package. And the link was put there in the chat for you. So I hope you'll consider making a gift today to support White Rose Leadership Institute and our nonprofit community, and to say happy birthday to Bob, because finally, of course, we are here to celebrate our founder, Mr. Bob Pulo, who turns 83 years young today. And we may have conspired with Miss Donna to pull some of these lovely photos of the birthday boy here. So happy birthday to Bob. For our birthday surprise, the cast of Dream Right's Lost Boys was going to serenade the birthday boy, but as COVID has so much in the past few years, it ruined those plans. But instead, we have the next best thing, which is the Dream Right's Board of Directors, who's going to lead us all in song to serenade Bob today. So on the next screen, Kate, we have that video. Hopefully it's shared for audio, and we can all feel free to join in as we wish Mr. Bob the happiest of birthdays today.
Ready?
Is it
All right.
working? All right.
Unmute, everybody, unmute.
Wishing Bob Pulo a very happy birthday in the best way we know how.
Too quiet.
Happy birthday.
Birthday
To you.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy
Happy birthday, dear Bob.
Happy birthday
to you. Happy birthday, Bob.
Happy birthday.
Does the birthday boy
And
want to
many
say a few
more.
words? Did we lose him?
No, he's there. He's just
Oh, is
muted.
he muted? Oh,
Yeah.
wait, Bob. I can't find him in here to unmute him.
No, you have to unmute yourself. I don't know. I think he was doing a tree.
Oh, I can't. Oh, there he is. Okay, wait. Ask.
Yeah.
No,
You do
I
hear
lost.
me?
There you go. Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you so much. I've never had such exciting birthdays as I'm having with all of you wonderful people. So keep up the good work and keep dreaming and keep performing and stay together. Thanks.
Thank you, Bob.
Yay.
Yes. So thank you all so much for attending. That is all we have to offer for today. We will be following up to share with you those documents that we shared in the chat. So the annual report, the corporate partnership packet, more information about the IDI and the work, the pilot program that we did this summer. As Kate mentioned, we will be announcing the return of Give Local York on Monday. Registration will open. So we're heading into our very exciting season with lots going on. Congratulations to the new class of York Federal Fellows who will be joining in the fun. And thank you to all of you for being here today and for your interest in our organization and your support all year long. So we appreciate you.
Well, before we go, I want to say thank you, Megan, and thank you, Kate. You're bringing us more. Every year it's more and more and more, and you have the energy of those little pink bunnies. And we want to thank you so very much for keeping us all together and for moving us forward, and for helping us, just keep moving into the future. They're so energetic, and they actually can remember what they're doing from room to room, which I find amazing. Anyway, so thank you for all you do. Thank you to everyone who is here this morning and for your support. Wishing you a wonderful set of holidays coming up here. Be safe.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye,
Happy
everyone.
birthday, Bob.
Happy birthday, Bob.
Happy birthday, Bob.